Okay, you guys are running to do Huduma and you don't even have your e-passports. It's not making sense to me. You guys, and the documentation needed is the same ones. So why don't you come in and do both if for lack of anything better? But no, they were all running in saying, no, this Huduma number, let's get this thing.
Now, looking back in hindsight, what might we, as the OneMic Show, have missed? Or what are some blind spots that we may have had now that this process is behind us? Like now that we've gone through it. And I'm talking about blind spots in as far as, like our expectations, like maybe how we disseminated information, like what are some blind spots that we may have had about how people in the diaspora are going to receive this process?
I can't say that there were blind spots. And part of the reason I'm saying that is because, for the longest time, even with people who were supposedly fighting and suing, and the information that would come out and the rulings that would come out, and the language that was talked about was progressive, because the process had started in terms of registering persons outside of Kenya. So it was progressive, meaning that yearly a certain jurisdiction, I'm using the word jurisdiction, maybe that's the wrong word, but a certain jurisdiction was added, or IEBC would say, okay, this year we'll have Sudan vote. Then, during the next election cycle, they'll probably add maybe another one. Let's say Rongai or South Africa, whatever. So it was progressive. And even if you went to court, and that is and that was the notion, and that was what we understood, So and also I think for us, our assumption was they really may not come to the US because of the numbers, because of the multitude, and if we would be a game changer when given the chance to vote, we would be that force that people be like, man, these guys, and that was the assumption. We were like, hey, these guys are afraid that if persons in the US are given the chance to vote, upper,
they will come out full force.
I'm telling you what tutabanjuka ile ajabu. And then now, so Ghafla bin Hu, it is here, right? Ghafla bin Hu. But I think that the fighting, I don't think we missed anything, and part of the reason also is because it was I think we were on vacation, we were not here when personally when the announcement came.
Actually, Slay here is asking, like, when did the show learn about voter registration?
A week before we actually. So the week before we actually.
And I think Ali is the one who informed us.
It was the week of, actually. Yeah. Ali went in on Friday when they started, and we learned, I think,
because me, I was not here yet.
You were still in Kenya.
I was still in Kenya. Yeah. So when you say that, I'm like, huh?
So here is what, and we had covered this on the show, like Wafula Chebukati, the IEBC chair, made a roadside declaration in Seattle sometime last year. I can't remember exactly when it was.
Around November, I think, October, November.
No. That was before November. It was a while back when he made that roadside declaration. That's the first time when they announced the different countries that are gonna register. Like from the ones that had already voted to the new ones, the Middle East countries, the North American countries, and the European countries that were added. So that was actually announced in a roadside declaration in Seattle. And the reason why I call it a roadside declaration, it was never official.
Yes.
So at some point last year, and we were talking about that on the OneMic Show, at some point last year, they did, like announce that the following countries are going to be added to the list of countries that are going to be voting. But that announcement was void of saying exactly when the registration will happen. So initially they said around November, and then they moved to around December. So they were busy talking, but there was no, there was no firm dates that they were giving. And then, by the time we're actually leaving to go to Kenya, there was still no information.
There's nothing. So
on dates, or whether there's gonna
Yeah.
be registration. So this announcement actually came, the official announcement, I believe, came around, the 9th, 10th, and I could be misquoting the exact dates, but it came around there. That's when they said, that they're gonna be open for registration from these dates to these dates. And at that time, we were in Kenya, we were actively, so we got that information, passively,
Yeah.
the way most of you got it.
yeah,
While
and
we were
actually,
still in
I
Kenya.
got it, in our group, because I was like, huh? That at first I was like, is this real? It has been, has it been gazette? Because everything again, with IABC, even it's always about the law, what the Constitution says, Katiba. What does the Katiba say? And you know what? We were given the chance. So I don't think in hindsight, I don't think we missed anything.
So here's my thing. To me, okay, I think the blind spot that I feel that we may have had as a show, and even any other diaspora media outlets that talk about this, the blind spot that we may have had is the enthusiasm deficit. I mean, I did not think, I knew there was gonna be challenges, even with a short notice, but there's just an enthusiasm deficit. Because when you think about people who live close to these embassies, because I'm saying, even by the standards of being given a short notice and all that put together, the numbers are still extremely low. I don't have stats of how many Kenyans live, for example, in the DMV, but I can tell you it's no less than 15,000.
And I'm sure we're going to discuss this in the social segment, because it brought me that because we've been, you being on conversations with Top Don, and even our discussions here, it took me back to when we were, you remember when, I think it was you, Babahanya, A.K. Lawrence, I can't remember who else, Mulienda, you went to hand over
A petition to the embassy. Yeah, for diaspora. Was it? I think it was for diaspora voting. Was it for diaspora voting? It was back in 2000. I think it was 2011.
You were like about 4 guys.
Yeah.
I got stuck at Jobo, but I was en route.
There were people
when guys
on social media. So many people were coming. On social
media.
Yeah.
Was
lit. It was on fire.
Social media was also lit when it came to registration or allowing the diaspora.
Thereof.
No, for the diaspora to vote.
Mm-hmm.
We need our chance, suing and everything. And I am in agreement with you, because it took me back to Michael Joseph when he said Kenyans have peculiar habits as consumers. And he got lambasted. He got lynched. But it's true. And we are actually seeing it right now.
Yeah, for me, what, in addition to what you guys are saying, it was the voter apathy is the way I'm looking at it. Because when you and when I say voter apathy, to me it adds up to the reason why people didn't show up.
I think there's more to that. I may disagree with the voter apathy.
That's fine. The reason why I'm saying that is that to me contributed to people not being present and enthusiastic, as you guys said, and showing up and going through and doing it. Whereas with Huduma number, people showed up, and this is something they could not touch, they could not feel.
They didn't know what it was.
And they were just like, tuende Huduma, tuende we get.
They were promised a dream, and they just came.
It wasn't making sense. To me, I was like, hesitation. I don't want sitaki. They're like, and on top of that, they're like, my vote is also not going to count. So why the ham sandwich should I even bother?